Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your first week of September read. So general messages, take what resonates, throw out the rest, and try to make it fit. If it doesn't, please. And you always want to check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus sign. Okay, so we're going to start with a yes-no question. So Cancer, I want you to take a nice deep belly breath, relax your shoulders if you can. I want you to formulate a question that would require a yes or no answer. You're going to ask the same question 3 consecutive times. And I'm going to pull 3 cards to see if it's a yes, if it's a no, if it's a not yet, or if it's a we don't know. Okay. I don't honor reversals with these. Okay, ready? I'm going to pull the first card. Temperance, that is a definite yes. Seven of Cups is a neutral card, unclear. I'll explain what that is. And Seven of Pentacles is a yes. So the answer here is yes, but just not yet. That's what happens here, okay? Because the Seven of Cups is a negative energy, but we have 2 positive ones. And the reason it's negative is because there's a lot of smoke and mirror type of energy with the Seven of Cups. It's like we know it's in 5 of the Cups, we don't know what's in 2. So but with Temperance and 6 of Pentacles, this is I have your back, you have mine. Temperance is about working something out. It really is about cooperation and recognizing what everybody needs in a situation, whether it has to do with a relationship, business, whatever it is. So it does seem like some sort of clarity needs to be had pertaining to a certain situation. And this doesn't surprise me, guys, because on the 2nd of the month, we do have the full moon in Pisces. And yeah, I mean, and it's happening in your 9th house, which has to do with belief systems, which means that you're going to have these epiphanies and these things that are going to be revealing themselves to you, coming into a culmination. But this is a very tight moon here, very tight full moon. So it's, and whenever there's Neptune involved, Neptune is very sort of smoke and mirrors, not being able to see everything clearly. So on the one hand, you're going to feel very loving and creative, but at the same time, things aren't going to be really clear. There can be a tendency for escapism for all of us, and the tendency to, set up tent in a fool's paradise. That's all of us, right? And it's all hitting us in a little bit of a different house. Now, I don't know your personal chart. Obviously, all of you are going to have your own chart, but the archetype of Cancer is going to be having this full moon experience in the 9th house, right? So that's right now what we're going to be dealing with you guys. And it's something that, has to do with your belief system. So let's pull a couple of clarifiers for each one. And then we're going to do a Celtic cross spread, and we'll pull some Lenormand for additional messages. Okay, because there are a lot of you, and this is a crazy time. So I'm kind of doing almost like a 3-part reading for the first week of September. So for Temperance, again, we say Temperance is a great energy. This is a Sagittarius energy. It's about what do you need? What do I need? What does the situation need? It really is about just sitting down and figuring things out. It's all towards healing. Now, a lot of times the Temperance energy does indicate the need to make a decision having to do with something to do with a family or some sort of close connection. Not always, but often it does. And we have the 2 of Cups energy and the 3 of Wands, 2 beautiful energies. 2 of Cups is a sharing of emotions, how each of you feel about a certain situation, but kind of doing it with, your heart on your sleeve and really having a good intention towards moving forward, whether this is in a relationship, whether this is in a business situation. This could be with coworkers. This could even be with a boss. We can have a 2 of Cups energy with somebody at work where it's like, all right, look, I really want this to work. Where are you at? Yeah, I'm there with you. And you guys sort of deciding together that we're going to really try to work at this together, putting things in the past that belong in the past, right? And moving forward only with what's beautiful and important. We have this 3 of Wands energy, which is great. This is my favorite minor arcana, right? Because this is a Sun in Aries energy. And this Aries is all about having a fresh set of eyes, right? A new perspective on something. And the 3 of Wands is you being recognized for talent, skills, and abilities that you have. This is you being recognized for what it is that you bring to a situation, Cancer. I mean, this is somebody really appreciating what how beautiful you are in a relationship, how intelligent you are, how sweet you are, how giving you are, all of those things. This is about being appreciated and setting foot on this next path and really leaving the past behind. So there's compromise here, there is this resolution to share, and there is this getting on a beautiful path. Now, then we have the silly Seven of Cups energy. So the thing with this is, I always say, it's in Five of the Cups, you don't know what's in Two. So there's always that. It's a Venus and Scorpio energy. Scorpio is always about transformation. It's ruled by Pluto. It's about things, really kind of cooking underneath and maybe not be really, really obvious right now. That's the thing. So what happens in this energy is it's easy to not see red flags. It's easy to not feel the rose-colored glasses on your nose. That's the thing. And this is not just cancers, this is everybody in general, right, in this energy. So here you are experiencing this transformation, and what's clarifying it is, first of all, I'm being called first to the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is, you've been through a whole lot with a particular situation, and you have the bumps and bruises to prove it. You got the t-shirt and everything that they say, but you still have fire in your belly for it, and this is a power position. It really is. And with the Judgment energy, there is this need to make a decision. We have these decisions that you need to make, right? The Judgment energy is this need to make a decision about something in the past that needs to be forgiven. And you need to make the decision to forgive. Now, this could be simply forgiving yourself, not beating yourself up anymore, Cancer, about something not going the way that you initially wanted it to, the way you thought in your mind's eye and your heart that you wanted it to go, whether it's that relationship, that money opportunity, the career, that friendship, whatever it is. Even if you maybe aren't 100% proud of the way you acted, I'm going to give a couple of interpretations here. Let's say you aren't very proud of how you were in a particular situation. You forgiving yourself. You realizing that, you were working with the tools in your toolbox at the time, and you did the best you knew how in the moment. And maybe it wasn't the best in retrospect, but you forgive yourself because you know that there was no malice involved. This could also be you forgiving somebody else, whether it's a partner, somebody in work, a family member, for self-love. Not to take them back, not to get back into that situation, not to forget what happened, because if you forget, it's going to happen again, right? It's just about, it happened. I need to accept that it happened and release it. But in this is this recognition of fairness. What was fair? What wasn't fair? That is the Judgment energy. It's needing to make that decision to release something and just and I'm not saying just say, oh, it's okay that you A, B, and C'd me if you hurt me. No, this is about recognizing unfair things happen sometimes in life. It's a gift to recognize the lack of fairness in the situation, recognize that it happened, and release it. And just be really focused on getting yourself into a situation now moving forward where you don't have to deal with that energy anymore of anything that's unfair, because you really want fairness. Six of Pentacles is very much, I have your back, you have mine. You need money, I got your back. I need money, you have my back. That's the Six of Pentacles energy. Remember, if you're resonating with this as a relationship, Pentacles means money. It also means mental, physical, and emotional connection. So it's I got your back if you need some emotional support right now. I'm here for you, and you're here for me. You're very focused on that. And I don't blame you, because that's the stuff that incites safety and a strong foundation within a connection, right? Absolutely. We have a Queen of Wands. You're feeling very, very passionate about something that you're getting into. So I don't know if it's a business connection, if it's a relationship, some sort of family situation, but you're feeling really, really excited about it because it's a Pisces and Aries energy. And again, Aries is about a new path, a new perspective, and Pisces is that dream space, feeling very passionate, motivated. Now, for some of you, because the Queen is a court card, so this could be you just feeling really excited and very motivated and passionate about this. Or this could even be an individual that you're meeting. You might be meeting somebody new. You might be meeting a Queen of Wands who you're super attracted to. Now, this is not gender specific. So you can be, a woman meeting a man and meeting a Queen of Wands energy. I hope that makes sense to you. Because gender doesn't matter in tarot. It matters in Lenormand, but not in tarot. So yeah, so I like this. But then we have the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is a Jupiter and Leo energy. And when we have the Six of Wands, this is all about success. It's about respect. This is what follows that crazy conversation that needs to take place in the Five of Wands energy, where everybody's kind of having a battle of the wills and a battle of the ego. There's this compromise that's made, which is going to be happening with the Temperance energy and even the Six of Pentacle energy as like this compromise. And because of the compromise, there's going to be success. But it seems like you guys have to go through that first. There needs to be the conversation and there needs to be forgiveness, right? So it's like a couple of steps need to happen before you can get that yes full blown. Having to do with this business situation, money situation, romance situation, whatever it is. Let's pull a Celtic cross spread. Now this could be an extension of what we just had, okay? Or this could be a totally different energy for some other Cancers out there. Just remember, we have Cancers out there that are 17, 18 years old. We have Cancers out there who are 70s and 80s, Everybody's in a different place in their life, so it really would be silly to think that everybody's messages could be the same, right? Based on the same archetype. Or the sun sign. All right. We starting with the Death and Rebirth card. This is Death and Rebirth. Beautiful. I love this deck. I highly recommend it for those of you who are readers. It's just very easy to, I don't know, for me, it's a very subjective thing. We have the Five of Pentacles. Wow. All right, let's talk about it. Best to be achieved, Ace of Wands, beautiful. Foundation right now, Three of Swords. Who else got Three of Swords as a foundation? If you're dealing with a Leo, I think. Coming from a Nine of Wands energy in the past, near future, we have the Four of Swords. You right now, we have the Ten of Wands. You're just tired. The energy surrounding you is the moon. It's your environment. The King of Wands is your fear and your hope. I like to say they're two in the same. They're one in the same, rather. And then we have the Star as the outcome energy. Okay. So we have some healing. Stuff has to be gone through. So the Nine of Wands, as I mentioned, the Nine of Wands is all about, look at her face. Can you see her face in this card? It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love the artwork on this. This is all about having gone through a whole lot and just saying, I still have fire in my belly for this person, and you being in a position of power, but still there's an ending that needs to have a rebirth. Now, this is the thing. Okay, obvious enough, death and rebirth, right? Scorpio energy. We don't need to overspeak that. But we have the Five of Pentacles, which is, again, about this idea of this almost like a bereavement energy. It's like a psychological death that's going on. A lot of times the Five of Pentacles comes up when a relationship has ended. And, it's inevitable, sometimes, not always, but often. One person is really far more heartbroken than the other. Not that there's not pain all the way around, but it depends. If one person is like, moving on with somebody else. I mean, there could be so many different situations, or even in a business, if they've quit and they're going to work somewhere else, but is this idea of bereavement for feeling the sense of lack and feeling this loss. Now, for some of you, it can literally be money, where you're feeling this unbelievable sense of lack, where, let's say, a job has finished. Whether you were fired, you needed to quit, you're working differently, you were laid off, whatever the case, and you're feeling this deep sense of lack. Or this could have to do with a relationship where you're feeling this deep sense of lack. Now, it could be because the relationship ended, or because the relationship ended up taking your money. That happens too. Or you're just not able to maintain the same level of living, let's say. Obviously that happens a lot, particularly if people are living together and stuff. But the best to be achieved is fabulous. I mean, we have the Ace of Wands. Ace is a brand new beginning. Wands are will, motivation, attraction. So this can indicate a new relationship, the realization of a new career that you want to really explore. This could be, anything wherever there are wands, there's will, there's motivation. So however this is resonating with you, there's going to be a strong desire to push forward in a particular area. So, and ace always means like brand spanking new. So this could be, again, like just like a new approach to something in your career. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're leaving your career altogether, but you can be taking a completely new approach, doing something completely different, or changing completely. You might be changing majors that you're studying in school. This could be a new relationship coming in. But really embracing something new. So even if you're in a relationship that's really going well, and even if you're in a job that's going really well, the Ace of Wands could indicate you just feeling very kind of lost inside yourself and just really wanting to bring yourself something new and something more. And the reason I'm saying that is while we do have Pisces, the Pisces full moon is going to be happening in your 9th house, like I mentioned, you are going to have Mars retrograde in your 10th house of career, public reputation, and legacy. And this is going to be happening on the 9th. It's going to be going through November. And remember, whenever we have the retrograde energy, it happens internal first and then external. So this big change is going to be happening inside of you, Cancer. Things are going to be shifting inside of you. So very deeply moving, motivating, self-motivating kind of energy. Now, but the foundation of all of it is some kind of pain that you've had to endure, whether it was from a relationship, some sort of job situation, whatever it is. It's a Saturn and Libra energy, and something is coming to light. The benefit here is that if you've been suspecting something or vibing something, Cancer, there's this validation that's being had here, which is a good thing. Even though you may not like what's on the other side of it, at least there's that. But this is a very emotional energy for you because, again, this could be a third-party situation, somebody being really dishonest about money, somebody going behind your back with a friendship or family situation, throwing you under the bus, gaslighting you, just betraying you, right? I mean, that is a betrayal, promising you the world and having absolutely no intention of really following through on their part of the bargain, and you realizing that, even if they're not cheating, even if, you just realizing like, wow, they sold me like waterfront property in the desert here, and I bought it, and wow, kind of thing, So it could show up in a number of different ways. But we have you right now, we have the 10 of Wands, and this is a tricky energy, the 10 of Wands, right? Because this is a couple of things. This is the card of overwhelm on the one hand. Well, it's always overwhelm, right? But this could be the multitasker energy where you're just so stinking busy. And now if you're in a relationship, let's say your relationship is okay. Your partner did something that really hurt you, okay? And you're dealing with it. But at the same time, you're really not giving the issue the time that maybe is required to appropriately focus on the issues that are going on in the relationship because you're just so busy with the rest of your life and they're busy. This doesn't have to be a permanent energy. It could be just something that you guys are going through. I do want to say that. For others of you, this can mean like you really are just so unhappy at your job, but it's a catch-22 kind of thing because it takes a lot of time to look for another job and you don't have any extra time. It's that kind of energy where, if you do have you're working a lot, and if you aren't working, the space between your ears and behind your eyes is so full of some sort of pain and some sort of painful distress that you're really trying to navigate right now, that you don't have it in you to even look for another job. This obviously, if this has to do with heartbreak because of a relationship that's ended, it's struggling to deal. You just have to end the cycle. You have to put the wands down. It becomes too heavy. It's just way, 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 way too heavy. It's Saturn and Sagittarius. So when you think about that, Saturn, right? Saturn is heavy. It's past. it's karma, it's no, it's restriction, right? It's delay, it's all of that stuff, right? So it's just holding back. And Sagittarius just wants to go forward with integrity, luck, and expansion. And it's almost like this bag of rocks in your pants where you just can't do it anymore. You have to just end this cycle. It just has become too much. It's just become too much of trying to fit a circle in a square. Now, the energy that's surrounding you in your environment is the moon. And in tarot, the moon is associated with Pisces. And Pisces is all about, it's the oldest water energy, right? It's in the water. But it's ruled by Neptune. So it's really not being fully clear of what it is that you're feeling. That's the thing. And there's this kind of tug of war, right? Because the moon is also associated with the high priestess, which is about intuition. But yet you have this energy of Pisces pulling you in the other direction where it's like, are you sure you feel like that? I don't know. So some of you may be at in this space where you're having a tug of war with yourself. About what it is that you really want, where you want to go. Like one minute you think you know, but then you're really not sure. And the thing is, too, to get the moon energy and what's surrounding you, no kidding, the week of the full moon in Pisces with Neptune, of course. I mean, this is speaking directly to what's going to be the energy of the week, of course. And you're not the first one who got that. I think you might be the third or fourth sign who actually got that, which is so powerful to me because it's exactly what's going to be happening this week. But the thing is, you might innocently be telling yourself a false narrative right now, Cancer, having to do with a person or a situation, not because of any other reason other than that the energies are just foggy now. It's just hard to see things clearly. So really the advice here is don't make any big decisions right now. Let the moon change signs, let things settle down, for a minute. We have your hope and your fear, right? It's one and the same as the King of Wands, Cancer and Leo. So you very much want to be able to move forward in something that you feel very creative about, that you feel very passionate about, that you like all the Leo things. Leo is doing something with heart. Leo is romance, wanting to move forward, in that love affair, in that romance, in that connection with your children, having something to do with something that you really enjoy doing, anything like that, right? Really wanting to move forward in that because you really crave the foundation and the safety. So it's what you want, it's your hope, but at the same time you're fearing that you're not going to end up getting that. And then in the outcome we have the star, and the star is Aquarius, is all about the future, doing something different though. And it's an approach that's different so that healing can happen. Because Cancer, and even though it's the archetype of Cancer, you guys know I'm a Cancer Venus, so I get it. If you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got. And the Cancer energy has a really hard time of letting go. Really hard time, right? The crab pincer's like grab onto something. It's very hard to let it go. It is. But you're in this space right now because of what's going on with things being illuminated in that 9th house for you in this full moon. And really wanting to make change, to really being very focused on making changes. You're recognizing that you just need to do things differently and you need to focus on the future. And that's what the Four of Swords is really. I mean, and this is the near future. The Four of Swords is, in the traditional Rider-Waite, the Four of Swords is the soldier that's lying on top of the coffin that he had made for himself for before he went away to war in case he died. He didn't want his family to have to deal with that. Very, very Cancer caring kind of energy. So it's a Cancer thing to do, right? But coming back from war and just being so grateful and just laying down on top of the coffin and just saying, oh my gosh, let me just think about what I've been through and let me figure out a way of throwing out the nasty stuff and holding on to the good, right? Really holding on to the good. This is a Jupiter in Libra energy, and Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So it's really being very focused on what do you need as far as that Libra energy, the Venusian energy, and relationship having to do with business, having to do with the relationship, that friendship, that close family connection, in order for it to be successful. Because you want to move forward and have success. So you're realizing that whatever's toxic and not working needs to be left behind. So you're very focused with the Aquarius energy and the Four of Swords. You're very focused on healing. and letting a negative cycle end and focus on healing and letting go. So there's a release here, Cancer, that I really like for you, that you're allowing to happen. You know, finally. You mean we don't have to discuss the craziness that's been going. Everybody talks about how Cancers have been, and I say that, I've said this a number of times, the craziness that have been going on, it's been going on with you guys for the past 2.5 years, right? Because you guys were the north node of the moon, you know, before now Gemini took your spot. But I really think that the Cancer energy has been challenged since 2008. To be honest, I do. I think it's been a long time, and I think you're entering an entire new phase, which I think is really good for you guys. Really, really good. So let's pull some Lenormand. Let's get into the third phase of this. We'll see what the Lenormand has to say to us, and then we'll pull some Astro cards and Astro dice. See what what part of our chart we need to, or you guys need to tap into, right? So we have the man, the patient man, looking back. So this could be any of you male Cancers. This would be you, female Cancers. This would be a male that you're dealing with. Could be your significant other, but it could be somebody in work as well. Men, it could be somebody that you're working with as well, or if you're in a same-sex relationship. Okay, and then we have the tree, which is all about roots, grounded. You guys can relate with that, right? And then we have beautiful child. I always get a Leo vibe with that, 5th house energy. We'll talk about that in a second. Then we have the dog, okay, best friend. But this is also you being your own best friend, the dog. This could even be a therapist kind of situation. Yeah, of course. Of course we got you guys. All right, so let's see what this says. So we have the man here looking at the past, looking away from something that's grounded and rooted, and we, you know, the Lenormand speak to each other. So we can't, you know, when we have the house and the tree, there's this idea, Cancer, of really needing to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, secure. You guys are the landlords of the 4th house, of home, of grounded, of rooted, all of that. Right now, for some of you, you can be, you know what to do. You need to make a decision. The dog indicates that you need to make a decision, and you know exactly what you need to do. But you might need affirmation from a friend, a therapist. But at the end of the day, the dog energy is you are your own best friend, and you know what to do. Now, when this comes up, I do often get a lot of comments questioning, you know, do people, and please don't giggle if this strikes you kind of funny. I mean, giggle, I suppose, but this is a real question. A lot of people do ask if their animals and their pets could be, you know, from an energetic perspective, communicating with them in a way, right? And there are many, many people who believe that that is what happens, and I don't see why not, because they're energetic souls. And when we're talking about energy, there is no language, you understand? So why not? So this could certainly be a case, particularly if you have a pet that's passed over that you're still missing very much. And then we have the child here. So I do get, for those of you maybe in a situation, female Cancers, you may be in a situation where you're very focused and worried about your roots, your ground, where you are. Some of you are very worried about your children, but you're dealing with a man who is just not focused on your situation, focused elsewhere. Maybe they're focused on the past, looking at something in the past, connecting with somebody from the past. That could be resonating with some of you. If you are a guy, this could be you looking back at the past and not being really sure how all of this is going to roll out. Looking so far in the past that you're not able right now to create the strong foundation that, you know, even though you know what you need to do. Now keep in mind the child, because the child here, the house that rules children is the 5th house, which is Leo. The 5th house is about children. It's also about love affairs, the act of sex. It's about things we love to do, our entrepreneurial spirit, our creativity, our heart. So if this doesn't have to do with you actually dealing with a child or somebody else's child, right? You might be having that kind of situation where you might be dealing with somebody who has a child. It is this element of romance, of having that love affair that brings you some sort of stability that you're looking for, but yet you may be dealing with somebody who's just not capable of giving you what it is that you need. Because to have the man looking in the past, now, he's looking away from from having a strong foundation, from this romance, looking away. So that is what I'm getting. But regardless, you know exactly what to do. You know what the answer is. So we have Sagittarius, yeah. It's about your belief system, right? I mean, this is what's coming up in the full moon for you. It's coming up in the full moon. Okay, we have Venus. We have the 4th house of home, which is you guys. And we have Aquarius, focusing on the future. Focusing on the future, focusing on love, focusing on feeling good about being in a particular connection. You have to focus on your Sagittarius energies right now, absolutely. Wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, your archetype obviously would just be in the 9th house. And we have Gemini. Good. Geminis, they think it's also where I learn, right? Gemini is a student. And this is very interesting to me because these are the nodes of the moon right now. Sagittarius is the south node. There's a need to recognize your belief system and release something in the way that you thought things are supposed to be for yourself, and you have to learn how something needs to happen for you in a different way. Gemini is the student. Sagittarius is the teacher. But the thing is, Sagittarius can close themselves off from learning something new. So this is why it's like this forced release, but allow yourself to learn something new. Gemini is also the ruler of communication, which has to do with social media. It's the 3rd house of communication, short distance travel, learning. So whatever you're going to be learning, whatever you're going to be releasing and learning new, it's going to take you into your future, having to do with Aquarius, so that you can have this firm foundation that you're really craving, Cancer. And it's going to happen in a very Venusian way. And I like this because Venus rules the 2nd house of resources and the 7th house of relationship. So I like this because you're going to be figuring out what it is that you need as far as money, and what it is that you need as far as what's equitable and what feels right to you in relationship. And I just don't see you sticking around for anything other than that. So that is what I have for you for this first week in September. I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Very empowering reading, it really is, I have to say. I will see you guys next week. Take care now. Bye-bye.